Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me here. Tonight we are continuing our free week, this fourth week of the month, and we are working on a pillowcase. We are sewing a circle into a square, basically. So we have it all pinned and ready to go, and we're going to sew that up. Plus, we're going to actually finish the pillow as well. We're going to add a cute little border to it. And a back to it. So the fun little, extra little mini project for this week. Testing an idea, doing something we haven't done before, which is sewing the circle. And it's fun. I'm excited for these free weeks to be playing around with some of these things that we want to test out. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginning crafters. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So again, we are going to hopefully finish up this little pillowcase with a little bunny on. I think it's going to be cute, and it's going to definitely dress up my old pillow here that we got, little couch pillow. So, all right, let's get going, guys. All right, so thanks everyone for joining tonight. Nice seeing you all pop in here. All right, so where we left off with this guy, I had stitched this a while back and never did anything with it. So I thought it actually was going to work perfectly for this project. So we've actually pinned these edges together. You can check out last night's to see how we did that. We've prepped all of our pieces for this pillow and we've pinned this together. So now we can actually go to the sewing of this. So this is the part that's going to be tricky. So we've pinned it at like every, we divide it into quarters and then quarters again. So we'd have eighths. And I think we just have to match up these seams, go slowly all the way around. So let's just jump right to it. Oh, was the image frozen? Oh, shoot. So hopefully we're fine in this above view here. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it doesn't stay frozen. Ugh. Don't like when that happens. All right. So here is the fabric here. So again, I think we just have to pick any of these little, any of the pins, and we're just going to kind of start like right below that, I think, really. So let's just start there and kind of remove this pin. So the trick is that, you know, I'm always going to want this to be like that quarter inch over. Oh, Jennifer said she tried to find this pattern but couldn't find it. So it's on, I did put a link below. So if you click the link below, it should be there. It's from the Quilt Museum. They're putting on a block of the month. So I believe this is January's block of the month. All right, so I'm going forward and back a little bit. All right, so I have the circle. Well, they're both circles, but I have the circle with the bunny on. I have that at the bottom. And I want to just make sure that I don't have any little puckers. So the puckers can be all on this side of my seam, but I don't want them to travel to the other side. So I'm just kind of, you know, my next pin is here. I'm kind of dividing it in half here with my fingers, and all the edges seem lined up. So I'm just going to kind of sew and rotate slowly, trying to keep so that from here to here is a quarter inch. All right, so I'm going to just pause there. I'm actually going to grab my stiletto. I think that's going to work well. All right, so I do have a little pucker coming up here, and I want to just, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to sew in it. I just need the pucker to be a little over to the left. Then we'll be good. At least I hope so. All right, I'm still lining these edges. I have not done this very often, so Or I don't sew curves very often, we should say it that way. I've never, I don't think, done sewing a full circle within a cutout circle. All right, so here's my next, I got to my next pin there. So I'm just kind of lining up the next little bit. Let's take that out. Looks like this isn't quite in line here. I'm excited to see how this turns out, though. I'm doing my best here. I don't know if I'm keeping it together all that well, but I don't think I have any puckers yet. This must just be another one of those things that take practice, I guess. All right. I'm gonna shift again. Get all this bulk out of the way if I can. So we did get a winner to last night's giveaway, but she hasn't messaged back yet. If I see her pop in here, I'll let you know. Otherwise, if we can't get a hold of her, then we'll do the drawing. We'll let someone else be the winner, I suppose. Oh yeah, and patience. Yep, I think that's probably part of this too. Practice and some patience. I suppose. This is kind of a largish circle, so this isn't, like, this could be a lot more difficult, I think, if I was trying to do a tighter curve, but it's pretty gradual. So that's good. So I wonder if maybe we're about halfway around. I guess I didn't really keep track. Oh, I hope this turns out. It's nice that we pinned this last night, then I don't have to deal with it today. That's positive. I can kind of keep my fingers curved with it here. That's maybe helpful. Oh, I see the end. Oh, we only have like 3 more pins. Well, that's nice. I'm excited for building the rest of the pillow. I think that'll be fun. You know, if you got really good at this, like these little circles, this would be kind of fun, just doing a whole bunch of circle pieces. All right, get flat there. I probably could have used Wonder Clips for this too. Although, like I said, the Crafty Gemini, Vanessa from the Crafty Gemini, she's doing some circles too right now, and she's not using pins or anything. She's just sewing. So that'd be fun to try at some point too. Thought I'd start with the pins. Yep, Jocelyn says, slow and steady wins the race. Yep, I'm hoping that's the case with this. I don't think I'm doing a very good job with this last little bit. So remember, this inner curve, we're trying to stretch to make it an outer curve. That's why it's so weird. Ooh, I'm close to a pucker there. I don't want to have that. All right, that was our last pin, so this is our last little bit that we have to line up. Cool, and then we can press it, and I think that's when it'll start to look a bit nice. All right, here we are. Yay! All right, let's do a little back tack here, just to kind of lock those threads in place. So just a forward and a backwards, which I can do on this machine. I can't do that on my husband's great-grandma's Singer machine. All right, I'm just going to snip those. All right, let's see what we got here. It's so fun! Okay, that totally freaking worked. It looks nice even without pressing it. Ugh, okay, so that's neat. I don't think that might be a pucker there, but I think it's just needs to be ironed. All right, let's flip it around. You know what? I think I'm going to, since I'm seeing it right here, I'm going to press next, but I do have my little guide markings on here. I think I'm just going to spray it with some water here, and then maybe those will just kind of go away, and then I can press this whole thing. Actually, you know what? Let's just spray this whole puppy down. It'll be like it's getting a little steam. But see that spray? It made those blue lines go away like pretty quickly. I don't see them at all anymore. All right, let's grab this guy here. So there's a few ways that I've seen this. So it appears like it just kind of wants to naturally go to the inside. So that's where my brain would say do it that way, but I'm gonna try and do it how that video was that we saw in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. They pressed it open, so I think I'm gonna press it open. I don't know. Maybe it'll lay flat overall. Technically, I actually don't think it's gonna matter really at all because it's not like we're gonna quilt this or anything. It's just gonna go. It's going to just be the pillowcase. You know what? In that case, I'm just going to press it in. That's where it feels like it wants to go. You could clip this a little bit to give room for the bulk, like because the bunny is folding in on itself, so that's going to get all wrinkly and big because it's got extra bulk. But I don't think it's going to be with a circle this size. I don't think it's going to really be a big problem. So I'm just going to go where it wants to go. And that's towards the inside. Let's just press that a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you press it open, or do you think this is fine? We'll see what it looks like from the front. Yep, I'm using my wool mat. Okay, so Kimberly says pressing open will probably make it lay flatter. Okay, well maybe I'll try. So this is actually, now that I'm thinking about pressing open, I do usually press it to one side first and then press it open. So let's finish going around. Fine, let's try and press it open a little bit. Let's get some of these. So where I sprayed, I can now kind of go over it and to dry it out. So all right, let's give this a go. I'm just gonna get like the beak of the iron in here and So by doing this, though, the outside, this fabric, is stretching. So this side is bunching and this side is stretching, but it will lay flat. So in theory, we could snip in there with a few little snips of the scissors, but I was hoping that we wouldn't have to do that. So let's just go around once. Let's see what happens. Giving it a go. I think my little blue mark came back, so I should get a little bit more water on. We'll see what it looks like from the front. Yeah, I might put little clip marks in here. So because this is stretching, it needs room to stretch. So by putting a little snips here and there, it can just kind of release a little bit. But maybe it won't matter. We'll get it on this side, and then I'll get it all pressed again on the front. Yeah, alright, well, pressed it open. Let's flip it around. Just want to see if I can still get it to lay flat all the way around. Like that they didn't curve back in on me, these seams. That one wants to. Okay, I think I got them pretty well flat. I'm just trying to get the seams to keep going the ways that we pressed them. Alright, I am going to spray this one more time too. Usually I just dab on some water afterwards, but every once in a while this spray method just kind of does the job, but sometimes those little blue marks can be a little tricky. Steamworks. Yeah, I don't have any water in the actual iron, so why don't I just spray around the whole thing again, and we'll steam it from the front, basically. Man, haven't used water in this realm in a while. I did that a lot. I used a lot of steam and starch for the first Splendid sampler, quilt along, but then I was just kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of staining my ironing board, and I don't know. Okay, but that was helpful just then. This feels super flat. This is looking great. This circle, I think, is a really good size to, like, kind of have it be not too hard to put together, but it's looking really circular, so that's kind of nice. Wasn't totally expecting it to be so nice, but it does look really good. And I think these fabrics together, it just looks like so old, like a 70s little fun, bright, crazy design, but like modern too. I like it. Okay, so this is the front of our pillow. So again, it's gonna be the pillowcase for this pillow here. Just want to peek at it again. Yeah, we're gonna stuff it in there. I think it's gonna be so cute. All right, I love it. All right, moving on, you guys. So I think the next part, well, we could work on these envelopes. So these guys will eventually be on the back. Here and here. So we could roll these hems right now and press those. Yeah, and then we're going to turn them right side out, so then they would be on the inside. So I think that would work. So both of these edges need to be hemmed, basically. So I can kind of fold it once. I think what I'll do is kind of roll it and then just kind of roll the whole thing. It doesn't need to be perfect, so if I don't have it, like, two perfect 1/4 inches the whole way, that's fine. I think I'm just gonna go like that and sew down the edge. Maybe I should press it first though, shouldn't I? All right, why don't we give it a little press? So 2 edges we're gonna press, and I think I'm gonna just estimate. Let's just go like right here. Again, these don't need to be perfect because it's just that envelope back. So I think I'm just gonna kind of not quite perfect, but I think that'll be fine. So I just folded it over there, and I think what I'm going to do is open it up, fold it to that line, and then just kind of fold it back. Oh, you know what? Why don't I press that right away? That was easier than I thought. This fabric really kind of stays in place. Not all fabrics want to do that. I was just going to roll it and then start sewing it, but I think this just kind of wants to stay, so let's do it. I do, so Kimberly's asking if I ever use best press or starch. I do have some here, and I used it a lot in the first Splendid sampler, but quilt along, but I haven't used it much since. I do think it worked well when I was working with really small pieces, like a lot of triangles and that sort of thing, but I don't know, it was kind of a new thing for me to use it a lot, and I don't know, I'm just not that attached to doing it. On little bits like this, like I could see, these little lines that want to go away and stuff, so that I could see like kind of spraying and doing that, but I don't know, I'm a question mark on all the starch still. I would have to spend some time. Like, I would have to take a project. Like, I feel like it needs an experiment. Like, I feel like I need a project with a lot of triangles where I kind of, we're just estimating this again, where I do half of the project with starch and half without and kind of see how I feel about both, I think. Yeah, it does. So in theory, yes. So that's the whole deal. It will give more stability to the fabric, especially like with triangles and circles. Circles, I could see it being nice because those things you cut at an angle sometimes, like a circle you're going around. So like thread on fabric goes vertical and horizontal, but when you cut on a diagonal, then you're cutting through all of those little threads, and that makes it super stretchy. So that's called the bias. So the bias of fabric, the diagonal, is oftentimes not oftentimes, it is. It's just far more stretchy. So by starching it with best press or something like that, it can hold it together better. And that seemed to be the case, when I was working on the first Splendid sampler, when we were working with tiny triangles and stuff. But I don't know. Sometimes for me it feels like a whole extra step, and I'm trying to avoid all of those steps. Oh god, maybe I'm just a lazy quilter, that could be too. But yeah, I think we need to do an experiment where I do half with and half without, and we compare. Some really intricate triangle situation. Oh, Sharon's asking what color thread I'm using. I'm just using a neutral kind of tan. I mean, in theory, this probably would have been a good place to use like a pretty green like this, but it's kind of a neutral tan, kind of like the colors in here. I think it'll look fine. Especially here, this would have been nice. It would have been nice to use a pretty color because we're going to basically top stitch this. But I think this tan's going to look fine too. So all right, we just kind of hemmed our 2 sides. So these are the sides that will be the opening of the pocket. That's all we need to do. We don't need to do anything else here. So I'm going to just sew those down. I think I'm going to go to this inner edge and then just sew kind of along that edge. I could sew on both edges, then we'd have a really crisp, nice thing. Maybe I should do that. It'll look fancy. Let's do that. We'll do it fancy up. So we're going to give it the 2 stitch lines, I think. I think we should go this one first. Maybe this is a dumb idea. Maybe this will make it look less fancy because, maybe it won't be straight or something, but we're going to give it a try. So my aim is, to be a little bit away from this first edge here. Maybe I need to go a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm going to run like the inside of my foot here along this edge. Ooh, come on. Yeah, there we go. So this will just barely be sewn down. Well, not barely sewn down, but it'll be just on the inside edge, like a 1/16 of an inch or something. This makes me kind of nervous. I don't ever stitch this close, but I think this is going to be really pretty. So we'll do this on this side, and then we'll rotate it and do it on the other side as well. Then we'll have like these 2 really thin lines. It'll look like super finished, hopefully. Kind of making this up as I go along. I've not done a ton of super finishing techniques for like clothing or pillowcases, or not pillowcases, but like cushion covers or anything like that. I've not done much of that at all. That'd be a realm to get into, some of these kind of finishing touches. So I'm hoping this kind of looks all nice. It's looking good so far, I think. Alright, I'm going to back tack it here just so it stays. I mean, we're going to be sewing over that, but this is going to be pulled at a lot too. It's because it's a pillow. Alright, let's take a look. I'm going to start the next one right up, but I think that turned out beautiful. Look, it's so pretty. I wonder if we even need the second one. I don't know. This is probably plenty. I think we just leave it at that. I think this is fine. Then we can press it, like if I wash it ever, it can just be pressed back to this position. I think that's all we need. That looks really nice, I think. All right, let's do it again. All right, so here's the second feller. I'm going to just start it up right after this one. All right, we'll back tack that again. I think this is going to look nice. All right, let's go. So Lisa says, no, it doesn't need the extra stitch. Yeah, I think this is turning out just really nice like this. I don't think we need it. And there's more room for mistakes, I think. Like having not 2 perfectly parallel lines or something. Whereas this, I think, is just kind of nice. Ooh, my fold's coming out a little bit. Let's hold that down. All right, that's nice. Okay, a little back tack again. We are cruising on this tonight. I'm really liking it. This green is so pretty. All right, let's trim. Oop, a little bit in the machine yet. There we go. Let's trim there. All right, and then we have just right in the middle here. We'll snip those. Got a fuzzle. Some more fuzzles. Okay, so these will be the envelope pieces. So I think ultimately when we sew this together, we have one more thing to do, but when we sew this together, we'll sew right sides together and then unfold it. So I think that means we actually have to have these hems going out, and then once we turn it inside out, then the nice side will be there. So, okay, I just have to remember that. Okay, so there is one more thing I want to do on here, and And that is, I wanted to add that little border. So what we're going to do for that, that's these tiny little strips here. I think we can sew it all together all at once if we clip it good enough. So first of all, okay, so they're two different sizes because it's a rectangle. So we need to press these in half. And then we need to clip the heck out of this, I think, just because we're going to have a lot of layers. And if any of them slide, then this won't be like perfectly aligned. So we're going to get the old wonder clips out, I think. But first, let's press these. I wonder if we should let's give everything another press here real quick. Just so everything's nice and flat before we sew it together. So I am going to just give this a little last press so we can get the edges in too. It's fun doing these little experiments. I really actually love doing these. This is actually one of my favorite things to do. It's the like, I've never done that technique before. I wonder what that's all about. Let's give it a go. And then let's like do something with it. So I see all these as little experiments, and then we're getting another superpower along the ways. That's kind of how I see it. So now we can sew circles into squares, and we're making something out of it. Like, these are my favorite projects for sure. These short little quick experiments. So yeah, I just wanted to get this all nice. Let's give it a little spray too. We're on the water train today, steaming these guys. I just want everything to line up really well, so I want to get all of these crinkles out of the way. All right, got that one. And get this guy here yet. It's a little brain teaser to like remember right sides and wrong sides and what it's going to look like when it's turned right side out and getting all that right. That's one of those things that should keep the brain young, right? All those little mind benders of sewing stuff. All right, nice. That's looking good. All right, so now these are going to be a little bit of a bear. We just we're going to press them in half this way. So these are solid, so I didn't really pay attention to on either of these greens if there looked like there was a right side or a wrong side. I'm hoping they look the same, so. All right, I'm folding these in half. This is going to be our teeny tiny little edging. It's like a fake cording that is like a closed cording. Like there's nothing going to be in it, and it actually isn't open all the way around. The corners will be kind of sealed. It's going to make like a cute little corner, I think. I think the last time I did this was like 10 years ago, so in my brain this is going to work. All right. It's just doing my least favorite thing, all this ironing. Actually, cutting, I don't like. Cutting was worse than this. I actually don't mind sewing. This is kind of a neat little deal. So here's our first one. So we got the two raw edges together, and then we got the nice folded side. Okay, that's a 15-inch side. I'll put that there. This looks like another short one. Ooh, after we do this, though, we sew the whole thing together, and then it's done. I'm not putting a lining or anything in. We could do that. Oh, are you saying I should be using The turkey lacer? Oh, that I need to get turkey lacers in the shop. I do want to do a kit of that. That would be fun. Jenna, who works with me, I don't know if she's in here right now, but she used to work at a bead shop, so I wonder if she can help me pick out some cute beads. Then we could have some turkey lacer kits in the shop. We'll have to figure that out. Be fun. Okay, I'm going off the edge here. Maybe this was a 17-inch one. I don't know. Ugh, I love this dark green. Okay, so that looks good. Now, is this a 15 or a 17? Oh, this is a 17-inch one, so he can go there. Oh, this dark is going to look so pretty with the solid and with the print. All right, oh, let's need a little fold on there first to help me out. I could use oodles more of this fabric. I'm not sure it's Kona because it, I don't know, maybe feels a little differently than Kona fabric I've gotten in the past. I don't know where this is from, but I like it. I want more. It's been a while since I've bought fabric. really, really want to just hunker down and use up my stash, which, you know, I'm sure all y'all are laughing. Like, that's not a thing that people are capable of. But, oh, there's Jenna. Jenna says, yes, please, to DIY stiletto kits. I think that'd be fun. Just some cute beads, some stilettos, and some glue. That's all you need. All right, that's a 15-inch side. Last one, then we can clip and sew. We're getting there. Oh, I think I started to say this, but I didn't finish. But I'm not, when you do this, like we have that embroidered piece in there, we could sew another piece of fabric to the inside just to protect the embroidery a little bit, so we could put a whole nother, like a piece of muslin in there or something, so then if we're taking it in and out of the pillow in and out of the case, or like washing it a ton or something, you know, I don't know, maybe protect it a little bit, but I'm not worried. I've had other embroideries that I wash a lot, and I think, you know, doing the weaving in the ends, and you know, it's that nice cotton floss and stuff, I don't see much wear, so I don't see the point in putting a lining in. And really, how often am I going to be taking this in and out of the pillow in and out of this? Probably not very often, and not aggressively either, so in theory, so I'm not going to put a lining in. We're just going to sew it all up. All right, I think that's that. Let's see where we're at now. All right, this assembly part is going to be a little bit of the trick. So here are the 17-inch pieces, and here are the 15-inch. The front and the back. So, okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to place these first. I'm going to be careful. And then as I pin, I will adjust. So how this is going to work is we're going to do right sides together. So the good side of the fabric together. And then we're going to turn it like right side out through the envelope that we'll be making. But it's going to have this little extra edge in here. So we need all the raw edges to line up. So the raw edge with the two raw edges of this fold. You know what? I think we are going to pre-clip. I wanted to just lay everything together, but I'm going to put a couple little clips along here, and then we'll add to it. I'm just using my Wonder Clips. I'm just thinking this is going to want to move on me, so let's just throw a clip. Throw another clip here. Come on, guy. And one on the end. And and then I'll take those off and kind of re-clip them. I think this will look cute. I'm a little nervous about this little edge, but if it works out, I think it'll be just like a really nice extra touch. All right, so let's do this side. So again, the raw edges together. This was just that like little 1-inch strip that we did. So now it's like 1/2 inch, and I think I was a little shy of an inch, so this is a little shy of a 1/2 inch. So these are going to be cute little itty bitty, little bitty edge. So I have tried to do this larger. I've tried to do like a little edging like this, but you know, bigger than this inch, and it doesn't work as well. It looks like it should be. It looks like it should have the cord in. So we're making like a faux one of these. So this has like the cord in the side. It's all coming through here too. So we're kind of mimicking that idea, but it's constructed quite a bit differently than I think a real cord. Okay, clip this. And one more. Whew, all I want to do is sew this together, and all this clipping and everything always takes so long. All right, we still got to do the top and bottom yet. But you can already see that little bit of a border is just going to frame this whole thing. Every one of these little steps adds just another little level of finish to it. So again, raw edges are all together, so the folds on the inside, when we turn it inside out, it'll pop out to the outside. Trying to keep this all as flat as I can. I think I'll rotate this to get this last piece. There we go. Have to remind myself that the raw edges go out, because sometimes it feels like it should be the other way around. This is like such a kind of retro-y looking pillow. It's just so silly. It'll fit in perfectly on our couch. We got a bunch of like old looking stuff. I like this style. I don't know if I'd want a whole house with it. So I found an old, this is remind me of it, but I found an old book that was on my shelf. I got it from like the Value Village or something, a thrift shop, but it's like the old needlework guide or like something or another. Like I like, whenever I go to a thrift store, I always look to see what craft books they have. And this is a needlework one that I got. And there are some color images in the front, and they were so crazy bright 70s. It was written in the first publication was like 59, and then it was redone again in like 72 or something. So like the combo of those two times together, there were some fun photos in there. All right, so there's our first little bit. Now we're not done. So you could, if you were nervous about this moving around, you could sew this down with less than a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're basically kind of like basting it down in place, but we're skipping that. I'm going to just try and go ahead and do this whole thing. So now these go on the edges as well. I think let's just do one at a time. So I'm doing so the hem is outward, and then when we flip it all around, then it'll be inward, and we'll just have this really pretty stitched edge. That's the goal, at least. So I'm going to line these up. So there'll be like basically a hole in the middle, and that's where we'll turn it right side out. Then we'll attempt to stuff my pillow in there. All right, so I'm just putting one that's on all of the layers in the middle, and then I'm going to remove these and try and get them back in place. So this is 4 layers of fabric now. The front, the two folded here and then here. I think we're just going to kind of rotate and go. It's going to be easiest, I think. Look how pretty these greens are together. I think I lucked out finding this fabric in my stash for this project. I'm really excited about it. I've had to learn to do that, though, to, like, use up my fabric that I love. Like, I know I've had this fabric for ages, and I just never wanted to use it because it was just pretty, and I love Heather Ross fabric, and, but, you know, now it's just sitting in a fat quarter bin hiding away because, or hidden away because I didn't, you know, it was too good to use, but now I don't even see it. So I've learned to use the fabric that I love. I feel like I'm honoring the fabric by actually using it. So that's my newish way of thinking about it. So we're taking our time doing this, but it'll get done here. Just making sure all my edges match. Lisa says, thank God for Wonder Clips. Yep. I love mine for sure. They're so strong. Alright, I think that side's pretty near done. This doesn't totally match up perfectly, but we'll just keep our eye on it. Alright, so this side's done. I guess we'll just stay here. So now this one just lays on top of this side with the hem out. So these two hems are in the center, right? And they're crossing over just a hair. Okay, so this is only crossing over like an inch and a half. Normally, especially for a poofy pillow, I'd probably want that a little bit more. But my pillow is like super flat. I don't think this is going to poof out much. And if it does, oh well. But yeah, so we'll have a little overlap in here. So the sides will be sewn together though, so it will be kind of attached like this, so these won't come apart. You know, you're gonna have to kind of maneuver in there. But that's great. Then it'll hold the fabric in, or hold the pillow in a little bit better. So that's the thought. So, all right, hem out. Okay, we're good there. I'm just going to do my clips around here. This is maybe overkill with the clips, but maybe not. Who knows? All right. Going around. And I'm going to have this side on the top, too. I think you're going to sew all the way around. You're not going to leave a gap or anything to turn it right side out because we have the envelope for that. Ugh, this is so fun. Just trying to keep it flat and keep these edges together. All right, oop, didn't get this guy. All right, last little bit here. So it looks like I maybe cut these a hair bigger than the rest of it, so which is fine because we'll need to poof up to get the pillow in there. Get this little edge all matching. Okay, we're done. We just need to sew all the way around, so let's see how that goes. First of all, let's get rid of some of these pins over here. Okay, so this is why I love magnetic pin cushions, is you can just scroll it over all your pins and they just get sucked up right away. Although this is a pretty powerful magnet, so it was sticking to there. Alright, we're going to be gathering Wonder Clips over here as we go. Wow, I made a messy little area for me here. Alright, I think let's just start on one of these bottom edges. I'm totally trusting my Wonder Clips right now. I think I'm going to start a little in from the corner, and then we'll just, rotate around and finish it right there. Okay, let's do it. Always getting nervous. Get quiet when I'm nervous. Now I'm nervous that I'm going to run out of bobbin. Oh, Jenna says, I've never done this envelope method. It's kind of magical. Yeah, the best part is when you turn it right side out. It's just kind of an easy way of doing it. Some people put like a little button on here or a little snap to keep it closed. So that's an option as well. Okay, so now I'm going over both of the hems right now. There's that first hem underneath, and then here's going to be the second one. Chunking through there. Seems to work fine. In theory, I could maybe back tack this a little bit, but again, just so it's got a little more like hold there, because that's the part that's going to be pulled at a lot. But again, I don't think I'm going to take this out of the pillow out of the pillowcase hardly at all. So maybe I just don't need it to be all double tacked down or something. Oh, losing the clips. I'm excited to see how this little edge does that we put in here. Alright, so I think maybe one more. I think I gotta go back a stitch. There. Alright, let's rotate. Alright, one side down, sort of. We have to get that last couple inches, but oops, I'm still going backwards. Move that forward. That won't matter. I think we'll actually clip these corners. This is like the best freaking fabric. I want to do so much more with this fabric. I don't know what it is though. But yeah, I'm really liking this solid. Ooh, it is kind of, might get a little pucker here though, it looks like. Not a pucker, but I think it's just bigger on the top than on the bottom. Oops, and now I'm losing my seam allowance. This edge might be a little small, that spot. So many things to think about sometimes. Alright, let's fix this corner. This looks like I could get a little tweak to it. Alright, let's rotate. We're getting there. So now this would have been nice if I had my extension table on, because it's all kind of falling off my machine here, which is catching on the corner, and it's not fun. If I had my extension table, which would make it like a flat surface for a lot farther, it would have been more comfortable to sew on. So I got to keep that in mind next time I'm doing a project like this. Get that extension table out and use it. That's what it's there for. this green on top seems a bit bigger than on the bottom. All right, just one more edge and then a little bit more, but that's it. Just crossing over these corners here. All right, like so. Okay, just this short edge. This guy a little further back so he can not be in the way of my clips. Almost there. See, this is what I wanted to get at. This is what it's in my head. Like, ooh, it'll just be fast. We just sew around the outside real quick. And then you remember, oh yeah, there's all the trimming and the pressing and all that, the clipping, all that takes some time. Ooh, and yeah, I got a lot of extra edge here, so we're going to just turn now. And that's how it's going to be. We're going to just try and connect these spots here. All right, let's see it. So I'm just going to snip both of these like so. All right, so I got this over here, the wrong side here, and now really, you know what, let's clip the corners. I don't know if we really need to do this on this piece. Ooh, that's pretty thick. I'm going to use my mega scissors. So this will just help the corners pop out a little bit more. Like I said, I don't know if it's completely necessary on this one, but I already did two. Just getting rid of some of that bulk when you turn it right side out. All right, so now we can just flip it through this envelope. Just pop the corners out. Oh, but look at this little edging. It's so cute. Cute. So I don't think I'm going to iron it or anything because I'm just going to stick it in the pillow in it right away. But so here's how the corners look. Let me push one out. So because we crossed over the two edges, those don't really have a place to go. So they kind of just get both tucked into the corner like this. So you have this cute little kind of little tucked in little point there. I just think it's so cute. So you can actually kind of pull on those to help bring the corner out a little bit more, but it's just this cute little sweet tucked in little corners. So I think it's a fun way. It's like that fake, it's a fake piping, but it just gives it a nice little edge. Oh, it's so cute. All right, let's try and stuff this pillow in here. This can sometimes be a bit of a hassle. So I'm going to actually go in so here's the envelope in the back. So I'm going to pull the underneath one and, okay, there's kind of a bottom to this, I think. All right. This might be a challenge. I still want to be kind of gentle too, so I don't, pull on the seams too much. All right, we're going to stuff this guy in this side. All right, so it does feel like it's in there, which is good because I wanted it to feel a little bit tighter in there. Ugh! It's just like this silly flat pillow. Oh, it fits totally perfectly. All right, there is our cute pillow. This is like the most comfy pillow for the couch too. So, like I said, some people like on this overlap. Well, let's make sure everything's tucked in there. Sometimes just because this is like a big envelope thing, for mine, I don't think it matters, but you could put like a little button here. You could actually just tack it together and not worry about it. But then you can't really get it out. So like a little snap. For those things, you'd probably have to know that beforehand, so you can make sure to make like a little buttonhole or a little snap or something. This is, you could in theory put a zipper here too, but I wouldn't really put a zipper here because then if you wanted to lay on this side. So a little button I think would be nice, or nothing. I think it's totally good without anything. Oh, Velcro. Oh, that's a good idea. Yep, Robin, that's a good idea. You could do Velcro as well. All right, you guys, I feel like I got a totally new skill here. We got that circle in there. I mean, it looks like it was just melded into this fabric, which I suppose it kind of was. I mean, I kind of prefer this over having to applique a circle. First of all, it's a zillion times quicker than appliquing a circle, I would think. I think it looks pretty dang good. All right, you guys, I'm going to flip you around so you can kind of see what it looks like in real life here. So, all right, so this is what it ended up being. So the little rectangle, I think that was cute. The back, little envelope. Ugh, I love it. All right, this was really, really fun for me, if you can't tell, but I love how this turned out. I got to play with some fabric I've been saving forever, an embroidery piece that I've been saving. This would be cute, just like showcasing your couple favorite fabrics. Like it could just be solid on the inside and, or whatever fabric on the inside and fabric on the outside. It doesn't need to be embroidered or whatever. But yeah, so, I mean, this would be a great thing to do with our embroidery kits. This is from our bunny embroidery kit. It's just the right size. It almost looks like it's framed in the hoop a little bit there. All right, so that was fun. So we still have a couple more days left to our free week. Maybe we can figure out the Aurifil, what we want to do for the setting. Maybe that might be a good idea to work on later this week. If there's something else you wanted to work on, we got a couple more days yet of our free week, or finish it all up week, our unfinished projects or new things. But yeah, if there's a technique or something you want to work on, let me know, and we'll take a look. This has been a fun first kind of free week for us. All right, thank you guys again so much, and thanks for your shares, your likes, your subscribes. I do appreciate it a ton. It helps a lot. You guys are the best. So thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Good night.